Before that, let's talk about David Bowie's art collection, because he had a huge private art collection and now it's public. Nearly 300 works that hung in the musicians' homes are on display in London before they're sold at auction in November. The collection is valued in total at more than $18 million, and it includes works by Damien Hirst, Henry Moore and Frank Auerbach. Our arts correspondent Rebecca Jones has more details.
It's a collection which reveals the tastes and personal passions of a rock superstar. David Bowie loved this spin painting by Damien Hirst.
He really valued Damien Hirst's glamorous freakiness.
David Bowie was a particular fan of Frank Auerbach and other modern and contemporary British artists such as Peter Lanyon. But as well as large works like this graffiti-style painting by Jean-Michel Basquiat, he purchased more modest little pictures, like this one by Harold Gilman, and they hung on the walls of his homes.
It's mostly emotional, and it's mostly art that somehow depicts the world, and it does so from a sort of a bohemian romantic point of view.
While the world knows all about his music, much less is known about David Bowie's life as an art collector. It was something he kept almost entirely hidden from public view, but it was a lifelong love.
I'm not a buyer of things. I think the only thing that I buy, addictively and obsessively probably, is art.
With the books, I have them all over the floor.
With his sketchbooks spread out in front of him, the artist John Virtue then uses them to create his large landscape paintings.
You open it out.
A favourite with David Bowie.
I get a phone call saying, "Hi John, this is David. I'm in St Ives. I'll come up. Can I come up and see you?" And I said, "Yeah, okay." So 2 hours later, he and a man arrive in the car park, and the whole of that day we were in the studio.
This is a journal that I keep sort of from time to time, but I kept it on the 22nd of February 1994, which was the night I met David Bowie.
The novelist, William Boyd, was introduced to the musician at an editorial meeting for an art magazine.
Bowie had a small goatee. Up close, his face looked quite lived in, baggy-eyed. He's painfully thin. Mind you, he's almost 50 now. Old bloke, you know.
How important was art to David Bowie?
Well, he was very serious about art. He was an artist. I mean, he painted himself, and he was a very clever man. He wanted to learn more, and he wanted to discuss subjects with you. So it was not a hobby or some sort of whim of his. It was a very, very serious, passionate interest.
These pictures are just a few of the hundreds of works that David Bowie bought during his lifetime. Art, he once said, can change the way that I feel in the morning. And now his intensely private collection is going on public display later in the year. Rebecca Jones, BBC News.